Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for another weekly Oracle and Tarot card reading. And this reading is going to be from February the 12th, I believe. Let me check and see here with my calendar. No, 15th. Somehow I'm getting my dates mixed up. It's going to be the 15th, which is going to be Monday, February 15th through to the 21st. That sounds right. And we're using the amazing Mystical Healing Reading cards by Ina Segal. And during this reading, you can use this as a pick a card 1, 2, or 3, or a blended reading for the entire week, the beginning, middle, and end of the week. As I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers, the highest good of all. And for the beginning of the week, or card 1, I'm going to take a card from the top. And then for the middle of the week, or card 2, I'm going to take a card from the center. Whoops. And in the end of the week, I'm going to take a card from the bottom. Okay, let's see what we have here. Well, we start out the week where we have card 1, or if you've picked the first card, whichever you'd prefer, is Transform Anger, card number 34. Okay, and with this card, what I'm getting from Spirit is a lot of us have pent-up anger, and rightfully so. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world that we have no control over, and it's important that we vent, okay? Not that we walk around complaining every single day and make that how we live or a lifestyle, because I know it could be very addicting for people to constantly complain all day, but to maybe take the anger, vent it, or transform it in some way. In the past, anger has given you the right to blame other people for your limitations. It's time for you to face your anger and allow it to energize you instead of draining you. So a lot of, artists are fueled by anger or feelings when they create their masterpieces, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about, transforming this anger into something passionate. If there are things that are not working in your life, take responsibility and steps to change them. You can no longer use anger to give you a false sense of pride and justify criticizing, putting down, and resenting others. This is your opportunity to redeem yourself, apologize for your behavior, and become kinder towards yourself and others. If you're angry about a specific situation in society, transform your anger into passion and create positive change. And exactly what we need to do is, something that we see in society that we don't like, maybe we could start a cause. Maybe we could start a self-help channel here on YouTube. Maybe we could take some courses and become a counselor. Whatever it is, we can't just sit back and let things happen without trying to make the world a better place. And I know there's some things that are, beyond our control. But whatever it is, this card is telling us that, we can't live in this feeling of anger, and somehow, some way, try to transform this anger into something positive. And there's always something positive, that we can do. Even when something bad happens, I always make a habit of looking on the positive side, that it could have been something worse, or what if it was this or that, and be thankful and grateful that it wasn't. So you may want to, make sure that you're not blaming yourself for maybe something you had no control over, because sometimes we turn the anger towards ourselves, and sometimes we turn the anger outward towards other people, and you have to ask yourself, with whom are you angry, and what would it take for you to let go of the anger, and who or what are you blaming? These are serious questions we have to ask ourselves, because if we don't and we just keep acting out, we're never going to resolve whatever issues are causing this anger, and sometimes it just takes some deep breaths to calm ourselves when we feel like the tension or the anger, swelling up in us. Just count to 3 before you respond to someone, maybe you don't respond at all, because that usually just fuels the fire even more. And then the next card, card number 2, or the middle of the week, is Awaken Your Vulnerability. And we just had this. We just had this card, I believe it was last week. And with this card, it was telling us that, maybe we have become bitter over something that's happened. Maybe whatever's making us angry here has made us become so hardened and so withdrawn that we're not allowing relationships and love and friendships to enter our lives because we're just so guarded. And this card is basically telling us to, you might need to let your guard down a little. Allow people and friends to help you. And I know when something happens to us that's very painful, our first, instinct is to go into hermit mode, spend some time in solitude. You might not want to discuss it or talk about it or even think about it. But truly, when you become vulnerable and you allow people to help you and allow people into your life instead of, shutting everybody off, that is going to be to your benefit. And, whatever you're going through, maybe what you're going through or, what hurt you might benefit someone else by knowing how you've dealt with it. And people want to know that they're not alone in this world with their struggles, because we all struggle, So take some time out, and place your hands on your chest. Become aware of how you're breathing. Okay, it is easy to breathe, or it could be difficult. And I know myself, when I'm under a tense situation or I get angry, I tend to hold my breath. And that's not good, because that puts your body into a fight or flight mode where all your muscles tense up. And it's exhausting. And by the end of the day, you feel so worn out and you don't know why. It's because we have this habit of doing that. But when you're breathing freely and your breath is calm, you're more at ease. You have more energy. You feel, more grounded. And then the last card, card number 3, the end of the week, is card 25. And it says release fear. And we have this woman here. Oops, let me adjust the camera. We have this woman here, and she's hiding behind this door. Okay, and she has like a mask on, but you could see the eyes. She's not blindfolded. And what I gather, she's hiding from something, hiding behind this door. And, maybe you're only seeing one tiny aspect of the picture. And this is keeping you stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in. So stop worrying and stressing. Things will only change when you start to take responsibility for creating your own reality. And again, it starts with that one negative thought sometimes that snowballs into, a full-blown thought attack. And before we know it, we're on a one-way trip to the doldrums. So you need to come back into the present moment and breathe slowly and deeply. You have an opportunity to either create tranquility in your life or to feed your fear. Only you could make the call. The focus on what you actually want to experience will bring magic into your life. Don't worry about how it will appear. Just open yourself to receive. So in believing that your circumstances could change, that's the first positive step. But if you keep on doubting yourself and you keep on thinking negatively, you're just going to feed the fear. And fear keeps us trapped. It keeps us paralyzed. And half of the things that we are fearful of are just thoughts in our mind, and thoughts are not reality. Although, like I said, all it takes is one negative thought to make us feel like a situation is hopeless and that, there's no way out of it. But, take a step back. Stop worrying and stressing over whatever the situation is. And just relax, We don't need to fear the unknown, okay? The unknown is an opportunity for us to actually become stronger people. When we stay in our comfort zone out of fear, we don't progress on our spiritual path. We don't mature. We don't learn the wisdom that we need to push ourselves forward and to be able to grow. So, someone out there is very fearful of, making maybe changes in their life, maybe changing a job, that's not satisfying, maybe leaving a partnership, a relationship, a marriage, a friendship. You know, we all go through these things, and we can't allow fear to hold us back in life. We just gotta, think of the positive. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but, to be fearful and to hold yourself back, you might, miss out on some opportunities that could really improve your life in so many ways. I mean, I know when I was in a situation in my job where I didn't know whether to stay or go. I felt unfulfilled. It was a very soul-crushing place, a very toxic environment. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I wasn't going to stay there. Yes, I was fearful as to what was going to happen with me. I mean, I have a home to pay for, I have a vehicle to pay for, I have bills to pay. But you know what? If I didn't take that step and leave that terrible environment, I wouldn't be as happy and fulfilled as I am today. So I felt the fear, but I did it anyway, because I just knew I had faith that whatever was going to happen was better than just staying stuck and stagnant with this fearful, feeling. What an interesting week. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe, because I will be back with more.